10 steps to reach your financial goals. Let's talk about it. I'm Chris Rett, certified financial planner here at Modern Wealth Management, and today we're breaking down 10 steps to reaching your financial goals. Now let's jump in. The first thing you want to do when you're planning out your financial goals is you want to define your goal, but more importantly, you want to define your reason why. I think this goes back to, again, a popular theorist, Simon Sinek, always says start with why. So whether your goal is saving $10,000 for an emergency fund, right? It's not just saving the $10,000 for the emergency fund. It is more the relief that it can provide you if something comes up. If it's saving for a big purchase like a home, right? Is that it's not just saving the money for a new home, it's moving up or moving out of maybe into a safer neighborhood, or moving and expanding your family, or maybe it's not living on top of each other. You always want to associate an emotion when you're creating a financial goal. So again, a popular one here at Modern Wealth Management, retirement savings, is that, hey, the goal is retirement. It isn't just retirement that's the goal, right? It's the financial freedom, the relief, the time spent with more family, the joy that creates when it comes to saving for retirement. So like any other goal, a lot of this is going to be crossover with financial goals and personal goals, but a popular acronym, step 2, is going to be SMART, right? Is you want to specify your goal in order to achieve it. And so if we're looking at the SMART acronym, it's going to be specific. Hey, I want to save $10,000 for an emergency fund. Hey, I want to retire by the age of 60. Hey, I want to be able to save enough of a down payment for a bigger or a new home, right? So that's going to be the specific goal. Then it's going to be the measurable. Are you able to track progress with your goal? Is going to be very important in achieving any goal, especially when it's a financial goal. Then we get to A, is it achievable, right? If we don't have any money in our savings account and we want to have $100,000 in a month, that's not achievable, right? Other than playing the lottery, which certainly that's not something we always recommend. So when we're looking at achievable, it's got to be realistic, something that you can reasonably achieve. Otherwise, it's just a wish, okay? Then we're looking at relevant. Is what your goal relevant to what you're going for? And again, this goes back to step 1, is achieving your goal of buying a new home or retiring at the age of 65 or 60. Is that relevant to your happiness? And then time. Time is something that you have to associate. You have to specify time. Again, otherwise it's just a dream, right? Saving $100,000, that's a great dream, right? Saving $100,000 in 5 years, that's a goal. Step 3 is going to be, you want to break down your goal, right? How do you eat an elephant? It's one bite at a time, right? You want to break your goal down to bite-sized chunks. It isn't going to just be, hey, I want to save $100,000 or I want to retire at 65 and you're 25, right? You want to make sure that you're breaking your goal down into bite-sized chunks so that you're setting milestones. Are you making progress? Do you need to change course or redevelop your goal or set a higher timeline or lower timeline? This has to be a breakdown. You have to do it in bite-sized chunks. Otherwise, your goal is going to just seem too overwhelming. Step 4 is you're going to want to create a game plan. This is arguably the most important. I think it was Ben Franklin said, those who fail to plan to fail, right? Is that if you don't have a plan, this kind of repeats itself, is that your goal is really just a dream. Otherwise, you're really lowering your likelihood of achieving it. And what's the goal? What's the purpose of setting a goal if you don't plan to achieve it? And so it doesn't matter if you're trying to win a Super Bowl or setting a financial goal or storming the beaches in Normandy, you have to have a plan, okay? And when it comes to financial plans, it starts with a cash flow analysis, otherwise known as a budget, but some people don't really like the word budget, but it is crucial to achieving your financial goals. And so as it comes with cash flow analysis, is you have to act like the CFO of a Fortune 500 company, but this company is your household, right? You have to do, where's the money coming in from? What is the money going out towards? Is it going out towards debts? Can the debts be reduced or eliminated? Can we increase, our income somehow? Can we get a side gig or a part-time gig or work more hours or get a new job? Will this help us achieve our goal? Is that you have to treat your household like a company. Otherwise, again, you're not likely to achieve your goals. You have to identify pitfalls. This is something that comes up with financial planning or goal setting in general, is that progress is not linear. You have to plan for pitfalls. Is that if it's a financial goal, you have to plan for things that are unexpected. Hey, engine's going to blow up, or roof is going to collapse, or something, you're going to stumble and roll your ankle and have a medical expense. Is that these things are going to happen. You have to prepare for them. Otherwise, it's going to derail your financial goal. Last but not least on this step is that this part of goal setting, when you're creating the plan, is meant to instill confidence. Is that it takes it from really that idea or that dream or that wish, and it really creates an action plan for you to create confidence. Is that, again, using the emotion side of it, is that, okay, we want to have comfort in our plan. We want to have confidence. This makes it achievable. So this is going to be a really, really crucial step in your financial goal setting. Step 5 is going to be take massive, consistent action. Again, to get someplace you've never been in terms of achieving your goals, you're going to have to do things that you haven't done before. And that means maybe it's not going out to eat as much and creating a savings account, or maybe it's again, working more hours. Is that it's really going to take something you've never ever done. And the more important piece of that is going to be the consistency. It is very tough to do it over and over and over again. This is why they say on January 1st, the gyms are packed. February 1st, they're not, is that people fail to look at the consistency. That's why it's so crucial to have it broken down to milestones, because if you're looking at the overall goal and trying to achieve it all at once, it's not likely. So you have to set it to where it's consistent goals. Is that if it's saving towards a down payment or $100,000 or retirement, it's set it to where you're saving monthly, right? And make sure month after month you're hitting that goal. And what happens after you string 12 months together? You've got a year worth of savings. You look back and it doesn't feel any different, but now you've got a small chunk of change and maybe it's growing, right? And then you keep repeating that month after month, quarter after quarter, year after year. You look back and before you know it, you've got a huge amount of savings, and it didn't really feel any different because, again, you were doing it a little bit over time. Step 6 is going to be you want to monitor along the way. So again, this is something where whether it's a monthly or a quarterly review, is you don't want to get too out of sight, too out of mind. Again, as we're looking at this is going to be applicable really regardless of financial, but especially financial goals, is that you look at it a month. Hey, did we have unexpected expenses come up? Okay, was this something that we can expect monthly moving forward, or is this just a one-off? This is going to be a crucial step in achieving your goal to say, hey, are we on path or do we need to course correct, right? Hey, we spend a little bit too much going out. We need to make sure that we're going to the grocery store and getting groceries, something a lot more cost effective than going out to eat. Or, hey, we spent too much going to concerts and football games and vacationing. We really need to reel that back in because we want to focus on our goals. That does not mean you want to eliminate fun from the equation at all. You want to build that in, but you just want to make sure that you're not overdoing it so you can achieve your goals. So it's very, very crucial to set up schedule monitors along the way. Again, whether that's monthly or quarterly, you don't want to go farther out than quarterly because, again, then you kind of lose sight, out of mind kind of thing, is that you want to make sure you're regularly and routinely monitoring your plan. So step 7 is going to be adapt and reassess as needed. Again, Jeff Bezos, pretty smart guy, built a small company of Amazon. Don't know if you've ever heard of it, but what he did, what I thought was phenomenal, is he said, rigid in your goals, flexible in your approach, right? Is that life throws curveballs. That's just the way it is, right? And so what we have to do is, as you're goal setting, whether again it's financial or regular, is that you have to account for the fact that things are going to happen. Things are going to happen positively too. Is, let's say, it doesn't always have to be negatively. Say you get a promotion at work or you get a job offer that increases your salary by 30%. This needs to reframe your goal, is that the time frame that you thought to achieve this maybe is a lot smaller. Maybe we need to set a bigger goal, or maybe we need to choose a different path, or maybe, hey, a car broke down and you need to buy a new car and that alters the plan. Again, this is something where you need to adapt as necessary. If you're rigid in it, again, it's going to create conflict in your plan and it more likely to derail it. So again, you do have to be flexible in the approach because you can't control all outside factors, but you can control what the overall goal still is. So it's very important to be flexible in that regard. And again, progress is not a straight line, whether it's losing weight or saving money or what have you, is that there's going to be times where you're able to stock away a little bit more cash. And sometimes that's going to work the reverse, right? That's just the way it goes. So make sure you keep the end in mind and you're constantly monitoring progress. Step 8, this is one of my favorite ones because it's really where financial professionals can come along, but it's going to be, you want to create a support group. So whether that's friends, whether that's family members, whether that's a financial advisor when it comes to financial goals, whether it's a life coach for personal life, whether it's a nutrition coach for if you want to lose weight. But again, we're focusing on the financials. If it's coaching, is you want to create some support network because goal setting is hard. There's going to be a certain part where it looks tough. There's going to be a certain part where you're going to want to quit. There's going to be a certain part where you feel like a failure. You need to have a support group that you can lean on when those times get tough, because they get tough for everybody, right? Is that this is not subject to just you. It's those that achieve their goals. The separators are those that can overcome those minor moments of feeling like failure, feeling like you're never going to achieve it, to feeling like, hey, this is never going to happen. You have to have support groups that say, hey, I've been where you've been. You can do this. You've got this, right? Or it's something that, hey, when you're around like-minded people and you've created a network, is that it's more likely to achieve your goals because it's what everybody else is doing. I think there's a popular saying is that you're, an average of the 5 people you hang out with. Well, if you're hanging out with 5 spenders, you're probably going to be the 6 spenders. If you're hanging out with 5 savers, you're going to be the 6 savers. It's important to get not only coaching if you need it, but more importantly, support if you need that as well. It's a very, very, again, crucial step in achieving your financial goal. Number 9, step 9 is a fun one, is that you want to create milestone victories along the way. Is that, again, if your goal is retirement and you're 45 and you're retiring at 65, that's a long way to go without any celebration. So as you're monitoring it and you broke it down into bite-sized chunks, celebrate those small wins along the way. If your goal is to save $100,000 and you save the first $10,000, take, your significant other or group of friends out to dinner or something and say, hey, I did my first step in achieving my goal. It creates momentum and tailwind for you to want to do that again. And maybe, again, if it's $100,000 is your goal, every $10,000 or every $25,000, you're saying, hey, I'm going to go celebrate this win. And it entices you to want to do it more and more again. If it's saving for retirement and you want to retire with $1 million or $2 million and you get your first milestone saying, hey, I did a full year of contributions and employer matching or maxing out my 401k, celebrate those victories because it creates momentum. It makes it fun. Goal setting does not have to be something that you're reluctant to do or you don't want to do. It can be something that is really fun and enjoyable along the way. And number 10 is, this is the assumption that you've done all steps 1 through 9 in order and you've achieved your goal, is evaluate, reflect, and repeat. Right? Is that if you saved $100,000, is now you're going to evaluate what went right, what went wrong, what you can improve, what went really, really well and you want to do more of, right? Reflect on the joys, the pains of it all. And then repeat, is that, okay, you saved your first 100,000, now save your next 100,000 or save it to $1 million, right? If you saved 10,000 for an emergency fund, now make it 3 or 6 months of an emergency fund. If you save for a new house, now maybe you're trying to pay it off sooner. If you're saving for retirement and you're able to retire, right? Now you reflect and say, okay, what are my goals now that I'm in retirement, right? And so the idea is that financial, and again, it goes back to the underlying theme of goal setting, is that you always want to be in pursuit of achieving something. And so all that's changed, if you've done 1 through 9, is now the bar has changed, the goals have changed. Rinse, wash, and repeat. Again, I'm Chris Rett, certified financial planner here at Modern Wealth. I hope that this helped you in achieving your financial goals. Thank you for taking the time. If there's anything that we here at Modern Wealth can do to help you in achieving your financial goals, please never hesitate to reach out. We'd love to help you. If you like this, if you found this impactful, like this video and please share and please subscribe.